And Krishna, although he was sleeping, but because the sound of his name, Mother Yashoda was calling him, so immediately he woke up, no? So when Krishna woke up, so he couldn't find anyone around him, so he went down from his bed, and immediately when he saw Mother Yashoda, while she was singing and carrying the bucket, he embraced Mother Yashoda from behind. So now Krishna was awake. So then Krishna said that when a child woke up from sleep, what they immediately look up? They are hungry. No, immediately they wanted some milk. Because Krishna was just a little boy when this passion took place. So Krishna said, milk. Okay, so now Mother Yashoda offered her milk to Krishna. Mother Yashoda said, you can take my milk as much as you want, as much as you like. The love of Mother Yashoda to Krishna is unlimited. So Mother Yashoda will give her milk unlimitedly. And the love of Krishna to Mother Yashoda is also unlimited. So Krishna will take her milk unlimitedly. Now, listen. So Mother Yashoda, she was boiling a milk that time, no? In the stove. In Vrindavan, animate or inanimate, everything is conscious. Remember in Krishna's book, when Krishna and Balarama will pass by on the forest, what did the trees do? They bow down, no? All the trees are bowing down, and they will offer their fruits to Krishna. And then the rivers, when Krishna played his flute, the rivers will be stunned. They will stop flowing because they just wanted to hear the sweet sound of Krishna's flute. And the rocks, they will melt. And all the leaves in Braj, they will chant the name of Radha, 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 Radha. So everything is conscious. So now, the milk is also conscious. Because they are all meant to serve Krishna. So now, when the milk inside the pot, when she was witnessing the sweet, intimate relationship or reciprocation between Krishna and Mother Yashoda, so the milk was thinking, Krishna will take Mother Yashoda's milk unlimitedly because their love, Krishna's love to Mother Yashoda is unlimited. And Mother Yashoda's love to Krishna is unlimited also. So she will supply her milk unlimitedly. So what is the use of my life? So the milk is now melting. Because she was thinking that there's no way for her to serve Krishna. Because Mother Yashoda is already giving Krishna's milk, giving her milk to Krishna. So I have no use. So I better commit suicide. I wanted to die. So the milk was thinking like this. So now she was thinking to jump on the fire. So now this is the expertise of the mother. When they boil something, they knew, they will say that it is about to boil. No? So because they are smelling or sensing that it's going to reach the boiling point. So now, when the milk is about to jump, and Mother Yashoda was thinking that the milk is about to boil, to reach the boiling point, so it will overflow. So Mother Yashoda doesn't want this to happen. So immediately, Mother Yashoda grabbed Krishna out of her breast and put Krishna down without thinking anything. And Krishna was interrupted. So Krishna was so angry. She was so upset. He was so upset. Then Mother Yashoda said, stay here, I will come back immediately. So Mother Yashoda went to the kitchen to take out the pot from the fire, so it will not overflow. And while Mother Soda, while she was feeding Krishna with milk, breastfeeding Krishna with her milk, Mother Soda was thinking, oh, I have to engage the milk in Krishna's service. If otherwise, if I keep on giving Krishna my milk, then Krishna won't be able to drink that milk. So this is the mood of the Brajavasis. This is the mood. They want to see others serving Krishna. Srimati Radharani, she was pushing the gopis to serve Krishna, to dance with Krishna, to serve Krishna. She was giving the other gopis. So Mother Yashoda is also like that. They are more than happy to see other devotees serving Krishna. But in the material world, it's different. If somebody is serving Krishna, trying to serve Krishna, we feel jealous, we feel envious. So that is not Braja mood. That is the mood of the demoniac. If somebody is trying to serve Krishna, you should feel happy. So this is the Mother Yashoda. So she doesn't want she doesn't want to be alone in serving Krishna. She wants everyone to be engaged. That's why she wants this milk to engage Krishna. Oh, I should stop because I am preparing this milk for Krishna. So that's why immediately she put Krishna down. So she saved. So Mother Yashoda saved the milk. But actually that milk is also she has a second thought. So she was thinking, if I committed suicide, then Mother Yashoda will be so upset because she is trying to engage in Krishna service. Then why should I disobey the will of Mother Yashoda? Because that is the desire of Mother Yashoda. That's why she did not continue. So she jumped back. So she back off. So that's why in the nick of time, Mother Yashoda saved the milk from overflowing. Okay, now, when Mother Yashoda ran away from Krishna, now he was so upset. He was so upset. Krishna was in the middle of enjoying the milk. Then suddenly he was interrupted. So Krishna now he was thinking, now I will do a very notorious. I will do another notorious act in order to make revenge. So the pot was left there. No? Remember, Mother Yashoda, she was carrying the butter, the yogurt, the butter from the yogurt. So she left this big pot. So Krishna, he took a stone. Although it's not a stone, it's something like a heavy thing, like a grinder. I don't know, it's like a small thing. So Krishna threw that stone where? At the bottom of the pot, no? Because if you threw it on the top, it will create noise. That's why he threw it at the bottom. Then immediately the pot broke, and all the yogurt, splattered around. So now, because after this mischievous act, Krishna doesn't want Mother Yashoda to caught him on the act. So he has to run away immediately. But because everything was splattered around, if Krishna will go on this way, it will take time for him to escape. That's why. So he was thinking to jump over the splattered area, but then he was so small. So when he jumped, he landed on the road. So anyway, he just continued. That's why he created some footprints, footsteps. So now, Mother Yashoda, after setting all the milk out of the pile, so she went back from the scene where she left Krishna. But when she saw what happened, Krishna wasn't there, and she saw that the yogurt that is supposedly to be turned into butter was already splattered on the floor, on the ground. So now Mother Yashoda, she was so angry also. I will teach this child a lesson. Where is he? So, immediately, Mother Yashoda knew where is his son because she saw the footprints, the traces from Krishna's footprints. So, Mother Yashoda, he said, I will teach this child a lesson. So, she immediately took a stick. So, she followed the footprints of Krishna, the yoga footprints. So, where did Krishna went? Krishna went inside the storage room. It is where they hung all the butter. They kept all the butters in the ceiling. Now they put everything in the ceiling, so Krishna won't be able to reach it. So Krishna was thinking, how I could reach it? So Krishna saw a gliding mortar. So Krishna climbed on the top of the gliding mortar. And from this gliding mortar, he can easily reach on the bucket. And what did he do? After reaching on the bucket, he called all the monkeys. So now, why did Krishna call the monkeys? Do you know the story behind that? During Ram Leela, who helped Ram to build a bridge from India to Lanka? The monkeys helped him. But on that time, Lord Ramachandra didn't have any chance to like what they call that, to give them special gifts or favor, not to return or to reciprocate with their service or seva. So he doesn't have enough time because after that they have to return to the Ayodhya and all these things. So there is no enough. He did not even have a chance to give thanks. Now Krishna was thinking, I have neglected, or not really neglected, but I don't have. He wasn't given a chance to pay back. Now this is my chance. I will feed these monkeys of butter. Special butter. So now he called all the monkeys. So he started feeding them a butter unlimitedly, coming from the pot, from this pot from the storage room. Okay, so the monkeys, they were so happy. Imagine the monkeys are eating butter. It's so special. So Mother Yashoda went inside the storage room. And immediately, when the monkeys saw her, because those who have been to India, if you want to chase away the monkeys, even if you shouted on the top of your lungs, they will not go away. Like if the monkeys is there, in front of you, you shout them, ha! Ha! Then you have to shout, they will not run away. They will even attack you. But if they see you are holding a stick, even if they're not closer to you, even they are on the farther distance, they will immediately run. That's why devotees who in Vrindavan, they always carry sticks to chase away the monkeys, because the monkeys are afraid of the stick. So when Mother Yashoda entered the room and they saw she was holding a stick, immediately all the monkeys jumped out of the window and they ran away. And Krishna knew that something is coming, there's some danger. So Krishna, when he looked at on his back, he saw Mother Yashoda, he was also holding stick. Then immediately Krishna jumped out from the driving water and he started running outside. So Krishna ran outside the courtyard and Mother Yashoda started chasing him. So they have a big courtyard. Nanda Maharaj has a big palace. So, and they have a big courtyard. So they started running. Krishna was running like Hika and Peter, not in one direction. So Mother Yashoda was able to catch him. So when the gopis, when they saw Mother Yashoda, she was running after Krishna, they were so happy. They were so happy with this scene. And because Mother Yashoda, she was so heavy, she couldn't catch up with Krishna. Even though Krishna was a small boy and is just running in a very slow pace, but still she couldn't catch up. So she tried her best to catch up, but Krishna is so fast and is moving here and there. So now, again, so Mother Yashoda, she was perspiring, she was breathing heavily because they are running for some time. So you can see Krishna is even Yamaraj. No? Yamaraj is who is Yamaraj? Huh? Who? God of death. Huh? Yeah, he's like kamatayan. He's the judge. No? Everyone fears Yamaraj. Huh? He's like a fear personification. Huh? So when you see Yamaraj, you have to be frightened. So even Yamaraj, who is feared by everyone, he is afraid of Krishna. Because who is the master of Krishna? Who is the master of Yamaraj? Krishna. But now, this Krishna, who is feared by Yamaraj, he was running away from Mother Yashoda. He was afraid of Mother Yashoda. How is it so? So, on the top of Mother Yashoda, there is one garland. So these garlands, they are also conscious. These flower garlands. So they were thinking, who is this lady at our bottom? Because they are on the top. They were thinking, who is this lady on our bottom? Who is he? Who is she? Why is it Krishna that even fear personified, even the God of death, who is afraid of him? Now, this Krishna, same Krishna, was afraid of Mother Yashoda. So, who is she? She must be a very exalted personality. So, why are we here on the top? We should offer obeisances unto her and touch her lotus feet. That's why you can see the flower garland fall on the floor. Not because it was loosened, not because Mother Yashoda was running and it falls, because they wanted to touch the lotus feet of Mother Yashoda. Because Mother Yashoda is so exalted personality, how she could make Krishna cry and run away and fear her. So, this is the position of Mother Yashoda. And we don't have a right to be on her top. We should be touching her with opening obeisances unto her. Jai Mother Yashoda ki Jai. You see, that's why the flowers, they offer their respect to Mother Yashoda and touch her lotus feet. This is the reason. So, now, this Krishna, that even the yogis and all the sages and all the mystic yogis who are meditating for thousands of years, they cannot even attain the lotus feet of Krishna. But this Mother Yashoda, after she felt exhausted, Mother Yashoda meditated on Krishna's lotus feet. Oh Krishna, you are running in your butter-like soft lotus feet will be hurt by the stones and hard ground. So please stop. So after meditating on Krishna's lotus feet, then Krishna realized that Mother Yashoda became exhausted and tired. So Krishna allowed Mother Yashoda to catch him. So Mother Yashoda called Krishna just by meditating on his feet. So compared to all the yogis and devotees who are trying to catch or trying to have a glimpse of Krishna's feet, Mother Yashoda immediately fulfilled the desire in one Leela. So this is the elevated position of Mother Yashoda. Now, to teach Krishna a lesson, Mother Yashoda decided to tie Krishna. So, we weren't able to create any mess. So, why do you think the Mother Yashoda decided to tie Krishna on the mortal, climbing mortal? He could be tied up in, in the tree or in any other things. Why in grinding mortar? Remember? How did Krishna reach the mother? Because of the grinding mortar, no? So they are accomplices to the crime. So two of you, because you grinding mortar, you help Krishna to reach the mother. So two of you should go together. I will tie you. Okay. So Mother Yashoda now, she took a rope, no? In Vrindavan, there are so many ropes because of the cows. Especially they have 900,000 cows. So she took one rope and he started trying to tie Krishna. So, but when she is trying to to knot the rope, but it was what? What happened? How many? 2 fingers short or 2 inches short. So she couldn't tie it. So again, Mother Yashoda again she tried to find another rope and connected it to the other end. So when he tried to tie it around Krishna's waist, again it is 2 fingers short, 2 inches short. So again, Mother Yashoda took another rope. Again, it is 2 fingers short. So now, all the gopis they are witnessing this pastime. Now they are started to also help Mother Yashoda. Oh, this we have a rope. This, so they gave Mother Yashoda rope. Again, it is short. So again, they try to take all the rope. How many cows in Radha Maharaj's Gojala? 900,000 cows. You know, those who from India, when you are going to meet a cow, what you will do? You have to tie the legs from behind, no? So the cow will not kick you. Otherwise, if you just do like that, the cow will kick you from the behind. So what they do? They will tie, when they have a small rope, they will tie the 2 legs, the hind legs of the cows on the back, then they can start leading the cow. And the cow will not move. So, imagine 900,000 cows, they all have this rope. So Mother Yashoda, they use all these ropes, but still, it is 2 fingers short. And this pastime took place in the morning, now it's already afternoon. And Diwali is coming. So what is this? What is happening? What's going on? They don't know what to do. And Mother Yashoda, she was so tired now. And even the gopis. But the gopis, they are all enjoying. They are all laughing. Sige ba, let's get more. Let's get, okay. Tie this. Oh, it's not enough. And they are just laughing and laughing and laughing. But Mother Yashoda, she is so eager to tie Krishna. She has determination. The gopis was telling Mother Yashoda, you better give up because you cannot tie Krishna. Maybe there is some mystic or something, some magic. No, I will not give up. Even I finish all the ropes around the world, I will keep on tying Krishna. I will teach him the lesson. So Mother Yashoda, she was so passionate that time. She was so passionate. But after trying her best, doing anything, she still couldn't tie Krishna. So until Mother Yashoda transcended all the modes from passion to goodness and to Shuddha Sattva. He transcended the goodness and that is the time when Krishna agreed. to be tied. So, because of her determination because of their effort. Now, this is how we could get Krishna. So the 2 inches, the 2 fingers, it has our acharyas gave hidden meaning about it. So in order to get Krishna, we should have these 2. One is our effort. One is our determination, our sincerity or eagerness to serve Krishna, and the other one is what? So even if you have effort, even if you are doing it on your own, if you don't have the mercy of Krishna, you will never get Krishna. So, what's that?
There's something like that. Gans was trying to die, no? The other animal.
Yes, that is the punchline. You wait. I will tell. So, Mother Yashoda, so in order to get Krishna, we should have these 2. That's just like what we call it, nasa Diyos ang awas taong gawa, no? So just like that. First you have to do, man proposes and Krishna disposes like that. So first you have to, you need your effort, you have to do something. You don't just have to sit there and wait for the mercy. So by the effort and by Krishna's mercy, we get Krishna. So without the mercy, there's no way we can get Krishna. So, now everything is, all the roads in the Gosala has been used up. Even the neighboring gopis. Imagine that, aside from the 900,000 cows, aside from the roads, even the neighboring gopis, they also donated their roofs, but it still is not enough. So then si Mother Radharani came. She wanted also to help Mother Yashoda. So in India, you can see in India, all the little girls, they have their hairs are being tied up. No? You see, you can see the picture there. They have like plates, no? They have a small ribbon for tying their hair. So actually, this ribbon is only like this. They will tie and they make a ribbon. So then Mother Yashoda saw and one small hand with ribbon. Please use this for tying Krishna. And that is si Mother Radharani. She gave that ribbon to Mother Yashoda. So Mother Yashoda, but this is so small. Is it not enough? No, just use it. You can try. So Mother Yashoda, she tied it on the rope. So when he tried, immediately, she easily tied Krishna on the grinding mortar. Because of that, one small ribbon from si Mother Radharani. So now, that Krishna was tied, that is why he was called Damo Udar. What is Damo? What is the meaning of Damo? Rope. Damo. And Udar means belly. So, Krishna is now tied up with grinding mortar. His partner in crime, the grinding mortar. So now, Mother Yashoda told everyone, it's already getting late. It's already almost night. The sun is setting. We have to move immediately. Let's prepare for the Diwali festival. So all the gopis, they went back to their kitchen. They prepared all the different preparations and decorations for Diwali. So Krishna was left there, tied up with the grinding mortar. So now he has, the pastime started finished. The lila started finished. He has to fulfill another desire, another blessing. So see, in one lila, it's like a multitasking. Krishna is not only fulfilling one desire. Krishna is fulfilling like multiple desires in one lila. Multiple goods and blessings. So now, what is the next part? What will Krishna do? What is on the courtyard? Two trees, okay. Now there are these 2 trees in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And who are these trees? Who are these trees? It is in the Mudar Sakam. You always recite. Nalakubanan Manigriw. Ha? They are the son of Kubera. Ha? Kubera is the treasurer. The treasurer of the demigods. So he's, they are so wealthy. So way back in Satyayur, these sons of Kubera, because Kubera, they are from very highly exalted family, Brahmin family. But these two sons of Kubera, they become so puffed up. Huh? They become degraded. So one time they went to Ganga. So in Ganga, usually, the people, they come to Ganga to take bath, to take a holy dip. No, they perform some sacred ceremony. Huh? Because it is a holy river. But these two sons of Kubera, they went to Ganga to enjoy. They drink wine. And they also bring their girlfriends. And they are all naked. See? So now they are enjoying in Ganga. Suddenly Narad Muni is passing by. So when these girls, when they saw Narad Muni, the saintly traveler, immediately these girls, they felt ashamed. So they covered their bodies. But these two sons of Kubera, they were so intoxicated and they were so puffed up that they did not recognize that a saint is coming. So they did not even do anything. They did not even obeisance. They just continue doing all these nasty things. They were continue drinking and playing sporting in the water. So now Narada Muni was he felt actually doesn't take the offense, but he wanted to teach. No? He wanted to teach these two Brahmins. They are acting like a dharmic. So to show them a special mercy, Narada Muni cursed them to take birth as a priest for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. But suddenly, these two sons of Kubera, they realized that they have committed a big offense. So now they came up with their senses. So they asked for forgiveness. They plead. They offer obeisances to Narad Muni. But once the curse was uttered, you cannot never bring it back. It is already spelled out. So Narad Muni, okay. This is what I already cursed you to become a priest, but to give you a mercy, you will take birth as a priest in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. Then you will meet Krishna, and Krishna will personally liberate you. And the sons of Kubera, they were so happy. So they waited for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And now that time is going to happen during this Damodar Lila. So, now Krishna, he knew that he has to liberate these two sons of Kubera. So, Krishna, he crawled. And this blinding mortal also fell down. So, Krishna slowly crawled near to the trees. So, while he was crawling, he went into the middle of the trees. But actually, Krishna touches the tree. That's why they got liberated. Not because of the dragon mortal that passes in between of the trees. So, but similarly, it's like that. But actually, it is the touch of Krishna that these trees were liberated. So, when Krishna passed by in between these trees, this dragon mortal was stuck up. Because the trees are like standing in the courtyard, and there was a small space, and this dragon mortal is so big, so he couldn't pass along. So Krishna, he tried his best because he is so strong. So he carried this dragon mortal in between, and what happened? The two trees fell down, and it's a huge tree. What they call it? Arjun trees. You know what is Arjun trees? Huh? They said, adult trees, even in the strongest storm, these adult trees, they will not fall down. Because their roots are deeply rooted on the ground. They have a strong foundation. You cannot even trace the roots. That's why there's no way that it could be, it could be fall down by any typhoon. But Krishna is just a small boy. So, when Krishna passed by in the middle of these trees, immediately the two trees fell down. So when the trees fell down, it created a thunderous sound in the whole Vrindavan. Because it is so huge. How could such a tree fall down? So all the Brahmanas, all the Brahmanas, they were so shocked. What is that noise? So before they even reached the scene where it happened, so these two personalities, they came out from the trees. They attained their original form. So these trees became returned to their original form. The sons of Kubera, Nana Kumar and Marigri. Marigri ba no? So now they offer their praises to Krishna. They commemorated Krishna for 3 times and they offer prayers. And they were so grateful that finally they were given a chance to be liberated and come back to their original form as demigods. So, they return to the spiritual world, to the abode. But the 4 boys, they are witnessing this pastime. They are watching. Because even before that, when Krishna was dying, Krishna's friends came. And Krishna he asked the 4 boys, come, you please free me from being tied. So these 4 boys, they try to free Krishna. They try to untie him. But what happened? Krishna complained, are you untying me or tying me? Why are you making it more tight? So it is the power of Shanana sumisikip. So they couldn't able to free Krishna from being tied. They said, Krishna, we cannot do anything, we cannot untie you. What can we do? So these 4 boys, so they're just standing over there. And they saw these 2 personalities, shining personalities, who went up in the sky. So after this, all the residents of Braj, they came to the scene, especially Nanda Maharaj. So when Nanda Maharaj, when he saw Krishna, he still tied up with a tiny mortar, immediately Nanda Maharaj untied Krishna. Effortlessly. Why? Why is it so? Why does the old boy couldn't untie Krishna? Why did you say free Krishna? Huh? Because Krishna was tied by Vatsalya Ras. And these 4 boys, they are in the Sakya Ras. That's why only Vatsalya Ras can free untie Krishna. And Nanda Maharaj is in Vatsalya Ras in the parental mood. So he can easily untie Krishna. So Nanda Maharaj, he easily untie Krishna and he embraced Krishna and carried Krishna. Actually, Krishna, he was so angry with Mother Yashoda that it took another day for Krishna to talk to Mother Yashoda. It took another day. So he was so upset. He doesn't want to talk to Mother Yashoda. Because of this, Mother Yashoda, she was so sad. She couldn't sleep the whole night. He was crying. Then finally, Krishna agreed again to be embraced by Mother Yashoda the following day. So this is the full exhibition or manifestation of the Vatsalya Ras. And only the resident of Braj could exhibit it. Even Devaki and Vasudeva, they couldn't exhibit, they couldn't perform completely the Vatsalya Ras. Krishna only took birth from Devaki's womb, but he couldn't experience, he couldn't enjoy the love of the mother. Huh? Unlike Mother Yashoda, she is fully exhibiting the relationship between mother and child. Huh? Devaki, she couldn't able to feed Krishna by her own milk. Huh? Why? Why is it so? What happened? So, Google, you know the story? Why Devaki couldn't able to give milk to Krishna, and why Mother Yashoda? She served Krishna for 14 years, and Devaki, she was separated for Krishna in 14 years. What is the story behind that? Huh?
Well, that's when you mentioned that they were seeing Krishna
No. So, okay, so this is another aspect. This is what they explain. But this is just one of the explanation. It is connected to Lord Ram's pastime. Huh? Kaikeya, ano sa sanar? Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi, no? This is the one who requested Dasharatha to exile Lord Ram for 14 years. So Kaikeyi is also a mother. So she deprived Kausalya, that is the mother of Ram, Lord Ram, for 14 years to take care of Lord Ram. So now, because karma wouldn't escape anyone. If you did something, you have to pay for it. So they said that Kaikeyi became Devaki. And they said that Kausalya became Yashoda. So, Devaki, although she gave birth to Krishna, she couldn't even give her milk. Because when Lord Ram was exiled in the forest, Kausalya was trying to give milk to Lord Ram, but Kaikeyi stopped it. So now she is reaping the reaction from this activity. So even Devaki couldn't able to breastfeed Krishna. So now Kausalya, she was given a boon that for 14 years she was deprived of taking care of Lord Ram. So now she was given a boon that for 14 straight years she will take care of her own child like a mother. She will experience how to become a mother. Because Kausalya was deprived. Now, Yashoda Maya, she was given full experience to take care of Krishna as a mother. So this is some of the explanation why Devaki was deprived. And it is only after the wrestling match, no? It is only after the wrestling match that finally Krishna sat on the lap of Devaki, and Devaki gave her milk to Krishna. So, but Krishna is already like 40 years old after the wrestling match in Mathura. So, she was deprived of motherhood for she did not witness the childhood pastime. And this childhood pastime is the most celebrated, the most sweetest pastime of Krishna. And you know, this Damodar Lila, it is the favorite Lila of Srimati Radharani. Huh? This is the favorite Lila of Srimati Radharani. She always wanted to see this Lila. Huh? And she was always longing. So when they perform their Brajabhumi Lila, their earthly Vrindavan pastime, when Krishna performed this Lila with Mother Yashoda, Srimati Radharani, she was also thinking that I want also to carry Krishna. So again, in the Brajabhumi Lila, it happened again. So that desire of the Radharani was fulfilled again during Sharad Purnima, during the Rasa dance in Full Moon Festival. So On the last day of Full Moon Festival, at the last day of Kartik, Radha and Krishna, they have a rendezvous. They have a meeting. So we already mentioned this, no? Whatever took place in the spiritual world. So it happened again here in the earthly Vrindavan Leela. So they have meeting with Radha and Krishna. Then Krishna was late. So Radharani, finally when Krishna came, Radharani tied Krishna. And the gopis, they were singing, Jaya Radha Damodara Radha Damodara. So that is how Radha Damodara. That's why we are singing Radha Damodara. Because Radharani tied Krishna on his belly with the rope of his love, of her love. Okay? So, it is in Vrindavan alone that Krishna exhibited full pastime. No? So, in the spiritual world, there is, although this is the highest, there is still hierarchy. Okay? Dwarka. When Krishna in Dwarka, Krishna is the best. Huh? But Mathura is higher than Dwarka. So, Krishna in Mathura, Krishna is more best. But Vrindavan is higher than Mathura and Dwarka. So, Krishna in Vrindavan, it is the most best. So, Krishna in Dwarka, Krishna is best. Krishna in Mathura, more best. But Krishna in Vrindavan, it is the most best. Because only in Vrindavan that Krishna could show fully his full pastime. Because in Vrindavan, Krishna is like at home. Krishna is like at home. But Mathura and Dwarka, Krishna is like in the office. Example, a judge. When a judge comes to a courtroom, he is highly respected. He is honorable. So you cannot joke with the judge. You cannot come to court and you will joke with the judge. But this same judge, inside his home, when he is playing with his kids, the kids sometimes they will crawl on the top of the judge. And sometimes this judge, the kids will play like the judge is like a horse. So the kids, they will climb on the top of the judge and they will play like a horse. So same honorable judge, but inside the house, it's different. They have liga, they have rasa. That is Krishna in Vrindavan. Because outside Vrindavan, Krishna is like in the office. The dealings is respectful. They have different dealings. But in Vrindavan, Krishna can do anything. He is at home. And his friends, his parents, his lover can freely perform their relationship with Krishna without any hesitation or without following any restrictions. So they are free. That's why, and this pastime, Krishna is exhibiting fully the Leela of Vatsalikas. Because in Mathura, Krishna cannot fully exhibit this Leela, even though the parents are there. Vasudeva and Devaki. Only in Vrindavan is Krishna is most complete. He is most complete. In Dwarka is complete, Mathura is more complete, but in Vrindavan he is most complete. Without any restrictions, they can perform, they can reciprocate with Krishna. Okay? Do you have any questions? Tapos na ako pa rin, di ba? Di ba? Any questions? Do you have any questions about the Damodar pastime? After offering, we will do a Damodaran Puja for the offering. Ha? Saan? Close na daw mo. Picture is not. Ha? Well, there's nothing here. Okay. So, the opportunity that was given to Mother Yashoda, even Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they couldn't even got this opportunity. Even Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi, although she is always serving the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, still she is hungering to witness or to become part of Krishna's Vrindavan pastime. So they don't have the opportunity. That's why Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they perform they perform tapasya in order to take part in the childhood pastime of Krishna. They perform thousands of years tapasya or penances. Even Lakshmi Devi until now she is still performing tapasya. Because she couldn't even join the Rasa dance. She is only witnessing. Because she don't have the adhikar. She don't have the qualification. Why is it so? He is a Vaikuntha personality. He is the eternal consort of Lord Vishnu. Why is it Lakshmi Devi? She wasn't allowed to take part in Vrindavan Lila. Because Vaikuntha and Vrindavan is completely different. Vaikuntha is dominated with what? With opulences of wealth, with awe and reverence. And Lakshmi Devi, she couldn't give up her opulences. Because in Vrindavan, what the gopis do? What Mother Yashoda do? They carry cow dung. They have to carry water from Yamuna up. They have to fetch some water. They have to take up the cows. They have to clean the houses and make cow dung patties for cooking. So, Lakshmi Devi, she couldn't able to perform all these things. It's like a village life. And Lakshmi Devi, she was living in a palace, surrounded by wealth and many servants. And she was attached to her ornaments and jewelries, to her beauty. But in Vrindavan, they are all naturally beautiful. They don't use any cosmetic, they use natural. They decorated themselves with the natural jewelries, with flowers. So, this is why Lakshmi Devi, she wasn't allowed to enter into Vrindavan Lila, especially Rasa dance, because she was too attached to her opulence, to her Vaikuntha atmosphere. Until now, Lakshmi Devi, she is still performing tapasya. And there is one forest, they call it Belban or Lakshmiban. That is the forest of Lakshmi Devi. She can see, she can witness. So it is located on the other side of Yamuna. And Lakshmi Devi, she was only looking over. But she wanted to take part, she couldn't take part. Because you have to give up the Vaikuntha moon. You have to give up your opulence. Kung baga maarte, Sipin mo, magbubuhatin mo ng tayo ng baka. Sa Vrindavan, pag tumae yung baka, ang ginagawa ng mga corridors, tatangkutin nila, direkta, lalagay nila sa planggana. Bubuhatin nila. Kasi yun ang ginagamit nila pang luto. Ibibilas nila yan. Ididin sila sa pader. Pag natuyo na yan, yan ang gagamitin ng uling. ginagawa nila araw-araw. Pag tumangin ng baka, mainit-init pa yan. Ngayon pala, i-imagine nyo, nagtitigil na kayo, di ba? So imagine Saxby David. How could she able to do it? Saxby David she is not ordinary queen. She is the wife of Vishnu. Lord Nara yan.
Goddess of fortune.
Yeah, she is the goddess of fortune. So how she could do it? Imagine Saxby David, she could carry cow down. No. But if it's Daban, they could do it easily. So this is what is lacking to Saxby David.
Bali, kumbaga yung mood talaga yung pinagkaiba ng Vaikunta sa Goloka eh, di ba?
Yeah.
Kasi yung mood sa Vaikunta, awe and reverence.
Yes.
Sa Goloka, pure bhakti.
It's like in Goloka, it's like pure sweetness. Without KMA, without arte. Being natural and simple. Diba? They are natural and simple. Their love for Krishna is natural. Their love for Krishna is natural. This is what Damodar is talking about. It is the love of the mother to her child is completely pure. They don't ask for anything. Did the child give something when the mother is taking care of the child? Did the guy reciprocated with something? Did the child give the mother salary? Did the mother get anything tangible material? Anything in return? No. This is just pure love. So, Mother Yashoda's love, the love of the Brajavasis to Krishna, is nothing but untouched by any material things. It's just pure, it's natural. It's like the love of the mother to the child. This is how they always compare. This is how they always compare the love of Brajavasi to Krishna compared to other things. It is like the love of the mother to the child. It is completely pure, out of natural love, because they just wanted to serve. There is no what do you call that? There's no negotiations. You will not serve them because you will get something in return. No. Unlike the material world, I will scratch your back if you scratch my back. But what I will serve you will not serve me. It's like that. We are working because they are getting something. Why you will work outside if you will not get something? No? First, it's like a business dealing. You will only do something if you will get something. That is the natural dealings in the material world. But in Vrindavan, in Braj, their love is compared to the love of the mother of the child. There is no business dealing. It's just completely pure love. She just love it because that is her own child. She will serve even though she doesn't sleep or all night. She doesn't complain. What she get? Nothing. Did she get any 15 day salary? No. So that's why they always compare. What is bhakti? What is pure love? They always compare to the love of the mother to the child. So it is the love of Mother Yashoda to Krishna that we always aspire for. So this is Braja Leela. This is what Braja Leela is all about. Just pure love, nothing but pure love. We serve Krishna because we love Krishna, nothing else. They don't serve Krishna because Krishna is God. No, they don't care. They don't even think that Krishna is the supreme God. They just want to serve Krishna. Even if he exhibited extraordinary pictures like a Godhead pictures, like Supreme Personality Godhead, like Krishna, he always wanted to exhibit his supremacy, his Godhood. But even the Brajavasis, they overshadow the pure love for Krishna, overshadow the Godhood of Krishna. They don't even want to think that Krishna is Godhead. So when Krishna exhibited extraordinary human features, activities, what did the Brajavasi will think? They will not think Krishna that Krishna is God. They will think, oh, maybe this is the act of yogic power or mystic power. Huh? They will not think that. So when Krishna carried Govardhan here, they thought that Govardhan is floating in the air. They did not think that Krishna is lifting the Govardhan. They don't want to think that Krishna is performing extraordinary things because they think Krishna is their child. They think Krishna is their lover and friend. They don't care. They don't even want to think. Why we serve Krishna? Because we think that Krishna is supreme. Can we do it? If Krishna is not the supreme, can you serve Krishna? No. See? This is Braja Lila. This is Braja Lila. No matter what, they will still serve Krishna. Even if you say Krishna is God or not, we will serve Krishna. We don't care. But for us, Krishna is our friend, is our lover and our child. So there is one place in Nandagaon, they call it Nanda Baitak. Baitak means sitting place. Nanda means Nanda Maharaj. So Nanda Maharaj is like the leader of the village. So every afternoon they will gather around, they will have assembly there. And they will talk about the welfare of Krishna and Balaram. So one day, all the elderly villagers, the son is, maybe he is a demigod, maybe he is Lord Narayan, because he is performing so many wonderful activities. He lifted the hill, he killed so many demons, he is so strong. This is not an activity of an ordinary child. So maybe your child is the Supreme God. So some of the elderly villagers were listening. And Nanda Maharaj was thinking, how could my child be a God? He is always hungry. And Supreme God is self-satisfied. And he always go to other neighbors and steal some butter. How could Lord Narayan steal some butter? Huh? And he is so naughty. He is breaking all the pots and he is playing with the gopis and stealing their clothes. So how could the goddess of fortune do that? And when the villagers, when they are suggesting about this wonderful acts of Krishna, Nanda Maharaj, he will just think about the childhood activities of Krishna. Then it will overshadow the extraordinary activities. This is Braj. The sweetness activities of Krishna eclipse the Godhood or God-like activities of Krishna. Even though Krishna sometimes intentionally wanted to show his opulence, he wanted to show that he is the Supreme. You know when the gopis, when they are looking for Krishna, so Krishna transformed himself like Lord Narayan. When the gopis saw Lord Narayan, they just found out, they asked, where is our Krishna? Where is our Krishna? Can you show us? They don't even offer prayers or something. We want to see Krishna. And Krishna, when he is seeing the gopis, he couldn't keep himself with the 400 form. Immediately, he will manifest his original true Syamasundar form. So, even the gopis, they don't care about the Narayan form of Krishna. They don't care about the the Vaikuntha mood of Krishna. They just want Krishna of Vrindavan. This is Bhakti Kurukshetra. Remember in Kurukshetra, this in Ratha Yatra, no? The origin of Ratha Yatra. So when there was an eclipse in Kurukshetra, one time the Brajavasis, they went there actually to meet Krishna. So Krishna was there in Kurukshetra. And he was a prince. He was a king. He was wearing crowns with armors, riding on his horse with all the ornaments and jewelries. And he is holding kingly weapons, like arrows and all these things. So he managed to meet with the Brajavasis, with the gopis, after they were separated for so many years. But the gopis, after seeing Krishna, like Dwarka Krishna, Kurukshetra Krishna, they were in in your head. We don't want to see jewelries hanging around your neck. We want to see the flowers of branch decorating your bodies. We want to see the minerals in the forest of Vrindavan. We want to see you holding flute, not weapons. So please, go back to Vrindavan. So, Krishna, Balaram, and Subhadra, they were sitting on the cart. That's why the gopis, they try to bring Krishna to Vrindavan. Because when they see Krishna, we don't want to see Krishna in Vaisakha. We don't want to see Krishna in Dwarka. We only want to see Krishna in Braj.
So yun yung pastime ng Ratha Yatra, Jagannath Baladev.
That is the original reason about Ratha Yatra. We are bringing back Krishna to Vrindavan. That's why in Jagannath Puri, on the first day of Ratha Yatra, they will bring two Gundicha Mandir. That is Vrindavan. So that is the story behind, but we can discuss this during the Ratha. So this is because Krishna and Vrindavan, that is the most complete Krishna. That is the most complete Krishna. Krishna is at home. They can freely interact with Krishna without restriction. That is the beauty of Vrindavan, Krishna. Krishna could be Mathura Krishna, Dwarka Krishna, and there is Vrindavan Krishna. Okay? Our team is ready for Damodar? Okay, 5 minutes more. Do you have any questions?
Bradyabhumi is Vrindavan also.
Bradyabhumi means? Bhumi means earth. Earth in Vrindavan is not different from original Vrindavan. When we say Bradyabhumi, the Vrindavan planet, earth. Vrindavan, yeah, that's Bradyabhumi. Earth in Vrindavan. But there's another Vrindavan, original Vrindavan. But it's the same. That same Vrindavan manifested here as Bradyabhumi. So not different. And that is the expansion of Lord Balaram. So Balaram expanded as the Vrindavan, Bradyabhumi Vrindavan. That's why Krishna never leaves Vrindavan. He never leaves Vrindavan. Even one step outside of Vrindavan, he never leaves. Even though the past time when Krishna left Vrindavan for Mathura, actually Krishna remains in Vrindavan. It becomes just unmanifested. The Leela becomes aprakat, unmanifested. But Krishna will always remain in Vrindavan. Why? Because Krishna can never give up the association of the Brajabasis. He can never give up the association of the Brajabasis. Because only at home. Because everybody wanted to be always at home. Especially if you are living with good family members. No? Even if you just wanted to be at home. Imagine if you are away for so many days outside your home. You just want to be at home. Because at home, you are relaxed. You feel so peaceful. Because Vrindavan is the home of Krishna. He is at home. He can do anything. So he has no business outside of Vrindavan. Outside of Vrindavan, who is performing massage, Devaki Nanda Krishna. That is Bhagavad Gita. Not the original Krishna. And we are talking about Yashoda Nanda Krishna. The one who performs Yashoda Damodar Leela. This is the original Krishna. Yashoda Nandana. Nandana. This is Krishna. This is a complete Krishna. Yashoda Nanda means what? The son of Mother Yashoda. Nanda means the son of Nanda Maharaj. So this is the Krishna that we are trying to serve. Yashoda Nanda Krishna. And this is our rare opportunity again for actually we have been given 1 month opportunity. So we have 1 month opportunity now to serve Krishna, where we could get 1,000-fold benefits, multiple times benefits. And this month we should offer all our service to Srimati Radharani. This is the month of Srimati Radharani. Okay, so every everything that we do, please meditate and offer it to Radharani. Because once you offer it to Radharani, and Radharani will offer to Krishna, then Krishna has nothing to say. He will not give a second thought. Because whatever Radharani says, Krishna has to follow. In this month, because this is special month. Okay? So if you chant, offer it to Radharani. If you offer a lamp, offer it in behalf of Radharani. If you take prasad, if you make any kind of brat, that's why in this month we perform special brat. Any kind of brat you wanted to keep for 1 month, whatever it is, even it is simple. But don't forget to offer to Radharani. Because even a small brat, just say you will offer lamp for Krishna every day for 1 month. Even if you don't order to finish it, if you offer it to Radharani, it will be complete. Radharani will take care of everything. Because this is her man. And this is for you. So Radharani especially created this man for all of us. And we have 1 month, not just 1 day, 1 month. So please try to take advantage of this month. We have 30 days. Okay? So now we will start the Damodar Puja. So we will sing Damodar Asaram. And we have here the copies. Please distribute to everyone. Okay? Dashaw Damodar ki! Damodar ki!